Shabbat Shalom. This week's Torah portion is called Parshas Ki Teitzei. Again, it's one of the portions that are the preparation before the high holidays. The very first verse says, Ki Teitzei le'milchama alayvecha v'nasnu Hashem Elokecha biyadecha. When a person goes to war on his enemies, the emphasis here is on. That he'll make you victorious. He'll put them into your hands. What's the war that we're doing these days? It's the war against our evil inclination. When will we be victorious in our war against our evil inclination of our bad habits, of our negative behaviors? When we come from above, when we're on them, when a Jewish person is filled with Torah and mitzvahs, he has the moral, spiritual imperative. That's when Hashem will make us successful. The verses continue that it speaks there about a very enigmatic section of the Torah. It's called about the Ben Soirer Umoreh, the rebellious and the bitter child. And the verses say that what will happen, this child will go against the word of his parents, will behave inappropriately, okay, and he'll be taken to the rabbinical court. They'll decree that he has to be stoned. Unbelievably, very difficult to understand. To the point where the Zohar says it's not even talking about a regular family. It's talking about Hashem and the Jewish people. Who are the rebellious child of the Jewish people, of the Almighty, the Jewish people? Moses says he understood right away what it's talking about. And he said, how can I put this into the Torah? It's not needed. What father would treat his child this way? And God says, don't worry. Even though the Goyim will stone them, the verse says the people of the city will stone the child. Even though the people of the city are the Goyim, even though the Goyim will stone the child, will stone the Jewish people, never, they will only destroy their walls and their towers, but I will never let them destroy the Jewish people altogether. Okay, that's the way, the broad perspective of the Torah. But let's look at it more deeply. It's a very interesting anomaly in the words. It says that there's Ben Sorah Umar, and the child doesn't listen, not to Koil Aviv and not to Kol Imo, not to the voice of his father and the voice of his mother. It should say not to the voice of his parents. What's the Torah trying to point out to us here? Okay, what's the call of his father? The call of his father is the upstanding person that cares, that does things in an appropriate way. He cares about Judaism. He's an example of how to live in society. What's the voice of the mother? The voice of the mother is the caring, holding the family together, the self-sacrifice for the sake of our children. Okay, this child, the Ben Sorer or Mera, didn't have good examples. And if we know he didn't have good examples in his life, if he wasn't led in the proper way, they didn't behave in a way that he could understand and to use those things in his life, we'd treat him in a different way, we'll be more compassionate to him. Let's take it even a deeper level. Why does the Torah separate the idea of the voice of the father and the voice of the mother? What happens when a child gets a mixed message? He hears one thing from the father and another thing from the mother. There's nothing can confuse the child more. Maybe the Torah is telling us that what we have to do is the parents have to get together and speak together about what the education of their children will be, and that maybe it won't guarantee, but it will help that our children will grow up to be good and upstanding individuals. Shabbat Shalom.